All right. Hello. Welcome to day 2 of the Calm, Confident Parenting Workshop. Friends, this is my favorite day because I've been getting to know you. Many of you have been sharing in our group chat and you've been connecting with me in Messenger. If you're someone who hasn't done that yet, please do. This workshop is all about the level that you show up. I'm ready to show up at that same place with you. So if you're starting to have personal questions, you want to ask things, I'm here. I'm available right here, either via email, flora@sustainableparenting.com, or message me here in Facebook so that we can start a direct conversation about what insights are you having? What are you realizing? What questions are you having? What you bring to the table, I will bring that equal amount. Today, we are diving into the secret to less anger. And friends, this is the empowerment day. I get to empower you because that's one of my favorite things to do. That's one of my roles as a parenting coach, is that I get to be that person that empowers and equips you so that you feel more effective. If you've kind of been unsure what parent coaching even is, let's talk more about that. I'll have an opportunity that I'll be explaining to you tomorrow, but it is the most effective, new, inventive way that people are getting support and reaching their goals in parenting quickly. So show me an emoji of how you're feeling about being here. Hi, Chelsea. Glad to see you. Hi, Cherie. Leave an emoji so I get to see that you're listening live or in the replay. And remember, that also qualifies you for a free Starbucks card, just because I like to make things fun and make parenting more enjoyable for you in every way possible. So when you leave an emoji, you'll be entered to win a Starbucks gift card. I've chosen 5 winners from yesterday, and I'm going to be personal messaging those people today. Can't wait to send those out. Hi, Shalise, Jess, Jennifer. Um, who else? Michaela, Rebecca, Maria, Kendra. So wonderful to see your amazing faces here in Facebook. And those that are in Zoom, great to see you as well. So, friends, empowerment is the name of the game today. If you have your workbook, we are diving into page 2. If you don't have your workbook yet, feel free to just write the word workbook below, and my wonderful assistant, Sustainable Parenting Mentor, will get that right to you. So diving into our worksheet today, so many of you shared with me that after yesterday's workshop, it left you a little bit in this place of like, I realize I don't want to keep making these errors, but it's like the kids push and push and push and I just break, or it's like they just don't listen. And so, of course, I lose my temper. I hate how it's affecting my relationship, but I just don't know what else to do. If that is you, say, give a little hand raise emoji or say, yes, me too. Because again, this is about community in the space of sustainable parenting. We offer each other openness, encouragement, and validation. And friend, I will be the first to raise my hand too, because I have been there. They just won't listen, and I don't know what to do. I can picture myself sitting in the lobby of the hotel where I was at a wedding and my kid had been just losing it and being like disrespectful and not listening to me and whiny and mopey. And I didn't know what else to do. I was following my gentle parenting guidance and I thought like I'd do a time in of sorts. So I'd pulled him to the side and I was sitting there with him and he's just like screaming in my face, crying, not doing what I had asked him to do. And all these people are just walking by me. It's a wedding, it's lots of people we know, and I'm just having their eyes just like burn into my skull of judgment of like, but I don't know how else to get this kid to listen. I was miserable. And I was telling myself, you just got to be patient. You got to learn how to be more patient. Have you done that? Do you find yourself, when you think of today's topic of how to have less anger, you think that the answer is, I need to be more patient? Write the word patient if that's been true for you. You're not alone. Friend, I'm here to tell you something that's going to just totally skyrocket you actually having less anger, which is that it has nothing to do with patience. Every parent who comes to me and says, I'm just working on being more patient, I know what I need to do, I just have to be more patient. Time and again in my 12 years as a parenting coach and counselor, those people don't see change. Because it's not the true roadmap to getting the kids to actually listen and to us feeling less anger. It's not. Do you feel me? Has that been true for you? Like 0 to 10, how much has that really changed the dial when you just keep telling yourself, be more patient, be more patient? Has it been a 10? Yes, that's been my gateway to feeling better. Or has it just been this like cycle you keep telling yourself, but like, gosh, if I really think about it, yeah, that doesn't ever change anything. It's like a 0 of effectiveness. I don't know why I've been stuck telling myself that. What's your number? Yeah, you're not alone. So here's the deal, guys. On your handout, it says the key that unlocks less anger, friends. It's not more patience. Here's what it is. It's about power. Write that down. It's about power. Because our anger is actually trying to inform us. We know energetically in the work of somatic experiencing that's blowing up right now in mental health is this deep, deep wisdom that's changing people's lives, whether they've experienced trauma or they just are having internal challenges, is that when you experience anger, it is action and energy trying to move somewhere, and it's like coming out sideways. It wants to be moved into action. Your anger is a sign telling you to take action. And that's the empowerment. That's it, is when your kid's not listening and you're like coaxing or reminding or trying to be patient. None of that is empowered. None of that is taking action. And so when you are in a place that feels disempowered, you feel chaos. One of the moms said, ooh, that chaos word really connected for me. I feel chaotic when I don't know what to do. Of course you do. We as human beings want to feel empowered and we want to feel in control. And if we don't feel like we have a sense of control, this little tiny tyrant seems to be running our day, then of course it makes sense that we start to feel anger, and that anger is telling you to take action. So today you're going to decide, instead of focusing on being more patient, you are going to focus on power. You're going to focus on knowing that that anger is telling you to take action. That's where you have power. In your handout, your anger is telling you, please take action. And the second piece is empowering our kids. We have to be wise and informed and equipped to know how to channel giving them power in the right way, in the right time. Because those are the two pieces that are likely missing. They're not listening because they don't like if you're just ordering them around, repeating. We just did this on my coaching call last night. We were diving into the key tools around how you encourage cooperation, how you get their brains to switch from feeling like the golden retriever that's just being ordered around, like do this, stop that, come sit, come play. And instead getting into this place of, oh my gosh, those tools, Flora, you're talking about tonight, parents were saying, it's like, I see that being like I'm their guide, I'm their coach. And the one dad on the call even compared it to like, this is like business leadership. Like in business leadership, you're not trying to just like tell your employee what to do and expect them to be obedient. You want to grow them up to be an effective, successful, problem-solving person in your company. And isn't that our goal for our kids too? So we're going to give ourselves power by knowing when that anger's coming up, that's telling us to take action. and we're going to give our kids power in the right time, in the right way. Stick with me here to be able to know what that looks like. If you are saying, yes, I want that, then you are ready to step into the tools that made everything get better for me. With Caleb and that story I told you yesterday with the pool, when I stepped into my power and what I needed to take action on and giving him power in the right time, in the right way, we utilized those tools and it was a completely different experience. I signed up for a second session of the swim lessons. I was able to give him a hug, give him a kiss on the hand that was like, here's mommy's love with you. And guess what, buddy? You have choices. You can hold on to the side of the pool until you're ready, or you can go with the class and what they're doing. You choose. Got his brain more in cooperation instead of power struggle. And then I followed through because I was ready. I had done one of the 3 rules I'm going to tell you in a moment. And it worked. Now, let me be clear with you. He cried at first, but he cried for like 30 seconds, maybe 2 or 3 minutes. It was short though. And then he moved on. And this is part of what we do in sustainable parenting too, is we talk about how we suffer with a purpose. That you're facing hard things all the time, but if you want to face hard things in a way that's hard short term, but then gets better, that's what I help people do. Suffering with a purpose instead of suffering in circles. Like many of you have seen this picture that I post that's like that suffering in circles cycle of kind and kind, but they don't listen, so I blow up. Then I feel guilty, so I'm back over to kind, and then it doesn't work, so I blow up. That cycle is going to continue, suffering in circles, unless you choose to become a sustainable parent, a parent who knows how to take action effectively, letting that anger tell you you're ready to take action, and to know how to give them power in the right time, in the right way. Anyone feeling this? Like, yes, I am ready for that. I am ready to stop suffering in circles. And I think I'm ready to start suffering with a purpose. Let's do this. Give me the tools. I'm ready. I'm like a go-getter person. I'm a problem solver. I just have not found how to solve the problem. Yes. Let's do this. So I remember when I made this change too, and the difference it felt when I leaned into empowerment was that I can remember that next month that I was driving to see my in-laws again, who had told me, well, that's a long story, but there had been a moment when the kids were really little where they're like, this is clearly not working. And I was like, it's true, it's not. And then I can remember the moment where I was driving to see them and I was like, you know what? Not only am I just like physically in the driver's seat right now, this is the first moment I feel really finally in the driver's seat of my parenting. And knowing that, it feels like no matter what happens this weekend at my in-laws, if my son has a blow up, I'm going to know what to do. If my son has a meltdown, I have a plan for that. If he's not listening, I have a plan for that. I know how to take action. I just felt so much relief. That empowerment leads to calm. Friends, that's what you've been missing. If you've been beating yourself up, I don't know why I can't do this differently. It's the empowerment and being equipped. And that's what I'm here to help you with. So friends, let's talk about 3 main agreements. If you're ready to move forward as a sustainable parent that feels equipped and empowered so that you can have the kids listening, so that you feel calm. Yes, Amy, Michelle, so ready. Kendra is so ready. Mariah, empowerment leads to calm. Yeah. Here's the 3 rules I want you to agree to today that you're going to start taking action in today to start noticing how that sense of empowerment leads to calm. Here's what they are. First rule, guys, we do not negotiate with terrorists. Write it down in your handout or in the workshop here. We do not negotiate with terrorists. What am I talking about? So going back to that neck up that we talked about yesterday and a lot of you identified with, can you maybe see that, yeah, sometimes the reason I'm neck up, talking and it doesn't land anywhere, I'm negotiating with a terrorist. If I really look at it, like I can see it so clearly now. Like they're being demanding or they're being rude or snappy or like whiny and all these different things, and I'm negotiating with it. Of course that feels disempowering. Of course that feels frustrating and like I don't have a sense of control because we can't change a terrorist. Cherie says, you almost made me choke. Thank you. Yes, guys, because, and I'm not saying our kids are terrorists all the time. They're not. But remember, we want to start thinking about really understanding where their brain is. This is what I will help you to fully, deeply decode in our sustainable parenting transformation, is knowing, okay, is my child in a place where their brain can reason? Are they in a place where they're somewhat emotional and I need some help connecting with relating? Or are they in a full flipped lid, fight, flight, or freeze, and they need me to help regulate? Regulate, relate, or reason. If we're trying to come in rationally, trying to talk down the terrorists, like, come on, this is fine, let's make this better, and it's not landing, it's because their brain isn't in that state. They need different tools from us. So top tool I want to give you, number one, agree with me, rule number one, we're going to not negotiate with terrorists. And one of my favorite phrases that you can use instead in those moments where they're like asking and pandering and all these things, a beginning tool I can give you from our tool belt in sustainable parenting is, I love you, and the answer is no. That simple, that straightforward. And if they keep arguing, I love you, and the answer is no. In whatever way you translate that to the moment that's really happening. I love you, and I read my last book to you. We're done. I love you, and when, I love you, and it is time to leave the park. Whatever it is, I love you, and the answer is no. Rule number two we're going to agree on is we're going to start making agreements in advance. We're not going to negotiate with terrorists. We're not going to engage in that moment. We're going to look for the moment where their brain is calm and make agreements in advance. So this is another way to have empowerment, guys. I want you to not negotiate with the terrorist, and I want you to start making an agreement in advance. So if you are frustrated with tech turn-off time, make an agreement. We are only having an iPad time 30 minutes in the morning while you watch breakfast and an hour when you get home from school. Or we are only going to do TV time on the weekends. Weekdays, we do these other things. Make an agreement in advance. Then when they're pestering, can I watch a show? Can I watch a show? You get to fall back on that and hold yourself confidently. Also, you can have a when-then connected to give that more empowerment. Honey, when you turn it off nicely, then you get to have it again tomorrow at our agreed times. And if not, then not. I talk to my clients about that being this two roads. When you make a good choice, you'll get the good result, and sad choice, sad result. So make agreements in advance. Think about how this helps your anger. Do you ever find that you're in that moment and they're like asking for candy, they're asking for TV, they're asking for one more book, and you're just like flooded with this overwhelm of like, is that too permissive? Is that, I don't know, maybe I will, maybe they need this, maybe they don't. And then that like sort of making a decision in the moment like floods you. And so then you lose your patience at them because they're feels like they're pestering and you have to decide and am I going to be like super firm mom or nice mom? That's the cycle of suffering in circles. When you make the agreement in advance, you're doing the brain work when your brain works. Oh, yeah. Let me do the brain work when the brain works for both me and him. Parents, time and again, tell me how much this transforms so many power struggles. Instead of feeling like every day I'm going to face them begging and asking and prodding, we made an agreement and I'm able to just come back to it. What was our agreement? Well, what did we say would happen? And you can tie those when-thens also. Rule number 3 is we are going to stop taking our kids' behavior personally. I see you, Brenda. I see you, Abby. Sometimes I forget to do the agreements in advance, but it does make a huge difference when I do. Amen. Abby's been in the program for a few months now, and she knows it big time. So rule number 3 is that we're going to stop taking our kids' behavior personally. Here's the deal, guys. So much of our anger can come from when we're like, why are you doing this to me? Back to that asking the wrong question, right? When we get in a stance of not only needing to respond to challenging behavior, but taking it as it's like they like getting a rise out of me. They like seeing me get so angry. It's like they just want to make my life difficult. Friend, all of that is going to be disempowering. And all of that is going to take you out of your effective action and into a powerless stance. So here's the great news. It's not you. If they are disrespectful at times, they're not listening at times, they are doing their job. It's a child's job to test rules and boundaries to see what happens when they do. I saw that once on a pediatrician's website. It's a child's job to test rules and boundaries to see what happens when they do. They're wired that way, right? They're little scientists. They're trying to figure out how to get a ball to go across a field. Like the very beginning level, they're trying to figure out how to like reach their hand with their mouth or their mouth with their hand. They're just in this testy mode because that's how they learn about life. It's not about you. It doesn't mean you're failing as a mom. It doesn't mean you're raising a sociopath if they like go do something that's like, what? How could you have written on the wall or whatever? It's that they're curious. They're little scientists. They're testing things out. So let's know our role. Don't take it personally. It's not a personal affront. It doesn't mean you're failing. It means the child's job is to test rules and boundaries, and your job is to effectively hold a kind and firm boundary. And when you master these 3 tools, friends, it unlocks a completely different relationship. When you have empowerment, empowerment leads to calm. So I want you guys to put one or more of these into action today. There's going to be a homework thread I'm going to post that says, share your power moment. I want you to go into this evening, this next morning with your kids, and to be using those 3 rules. I'm not going to negotiate with terrorists. I'm just going to use the I love you and the answer is no. I am going to make agreements in advance so I can just fall back on those. What was our agreement? So I do the brain work when the brain works for both my child and me. And I'm going to stop taking their behavior personally and know that those moments are my opportunity to teach them it's okay. And if you don't know exactly how to do that teaching effectively, friend, that's why I'm here for you. I will give you everything you need to be able to effectively respond to every challenging moment that comes up I get to see parents month after month master these new tools, have the aha moments of like, I didn't know it could be this easy, and starting to feel relief, less anger, the kids listening, and their relationships finally feeling the way they have always wanted them to be. So go do your homework, come back and report. Where was there a moment where you were able to recognize, that's where it was. I felt so much more powerful when I did that thing. Whether it's that you didn't negotiate with a terrorist, you made an agreement in advance and followed through, or that you didn't take their behavior personally. Come back and tell us the story. There'll be a unique homework thread for that. And do not miss tomorrow, where we're going to give you the best question to ask to end your daily battles. See you again soon, friends.